Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. This is going to be a review recap of the new series on OWN, Queen Sugar. Now it premiered Tuesday night. It was a 2-night premiere. It premiered Tuesday night after the haves and the have-nots for 2 hours, and then Wednesday it aired the second, third episode, because I think the 1 hour one, the 2 hour one was like 2 episodes combined into one, and it was commercial free. And then like the second day, which was Wednesday night, the regular time slot is Wednesday at 10. So if you've been watching Greenleaf, or you have watched Greenleaf, it's going to come on in that time slot. Okay, basically it's a book created by a black author. I forgot her name. I'll put it down in the description box. And Ava DuVernay, who did Selma, she's actually the creator of the show and the director. Now I compared the book to like the show. Some of the stuff is slightly different, so we'll just see how it goes with the show. It's about a black family down in Louisiana. It's like in the country part, so I'm thinking it's the country part of maybe like New Orleans or Baton Rouge or something. They never really did say, but it said it was in the South in Louisiana. The dad is Mr. Ernest. Mr. Ernest, he played on A Different World. He was Dwayne Wayne's teacher. He was in a lot of stuff, so I forgot his real name too. It escapes me right now. And he owned this cane field. I'm assuming it's cane, but he said he hasn't grown any crops in at least 2 years or whatever. So basically it's his field, and the kids and stuff is going to inherit it and stuff. Okay, so we have, for the family, we have Nova, which she's kind of like an Erykah Badu free spirit type. We have Ralph Angel, which is the son. I think he's the baby of the family. And we have Charlie. Now Charlie, she's both Ralph Angel and Nova, they're dark skinned, and Charlie is light skinned, and she's married to an NBA player, Davis West, and they have a son named Micah, who's a teenager. He's like, I think he's like 14 or 15. He's like a young teenager, well, mid-teen. And he's like 14 or 15. And we also have Aunt Vi. I'm assuming she's Mr. Ernest's sister. They never really did say it, but I'm assuming that because they call her aunt, and their mother is not in the series, well, not as of yet. And I'm assuming that that's her brother. And then she has this boyfriend named Hollywood, and he's younger than her. He looks like he's about 10 years younger than her. And then we have Little Blue, which is the son of Ralph Angel. He looks like he's about 5 or 6, like he's kindergarten age. And he's really smart, and he's so cute. Oh my gosh, he's so cute. Every time he's on the screen, I'm just like, oh, he's cute. It's giving me baby fever. I don't have any kids, but it's giving me baby fever. And we have Blue's teacher, Miss Velez. I don't think it's Valdez, that's Power. But I think it's Miss Velez. She's Hispanic or Puerto Rican or something like that. And then we have Blue's mama, Darla, which is played by Bianca Lawson. Now, she's been in a lot of stuff. She's been playing a teenager for like over 20 years. And in this series, she still looks very young. But those are like the main characters for the show for right now. So let's get into it, shall we? So in the first we have Nova is in the bed. She's laying up in the bed with this white man. So I'm like, is she a mistress or something? Because she just got out of the bed and just walked over and get ready to start putting on her clothes. Because like, mistresses and sidekick, they the only one that lay down with somebody and they just get up while the person is sleeping, tiptoe out. Like, but she got up to put on her clothes, and when she got up out of the bed, the man woke up and he started helping her put on her clothes all sexually. I thought they was about to have sex again. I was just sitting there like, girl, I ain't never seen this before. Not on TV, and not in real life either. But he just helped her put on her clothes, and she got back dressed. And then we see Ralph Angel in a park with Baby Blue, and he was sitting up there like watching the other kids play basketball or whatever. So he told Blue to turn around and watch the game and count to 10 or something like that, and no, watch them play 3 games and he'll be back. And he walks across the street. Now he put candy in his pocket and stuff, so I was like, oh, he finna rob the store for some snacks and then just go back over there and play like nothing happened. Well, not rob the store, steal some snacks or whatever. So he put the candy in his pocket, and then he get ready to walk up to the counter. I thought he was about to pay or whatever. I'm like, oh, maybe he's not stealing. So he pulled out a gun and told her, give him all the money in the register. So she gave him all the money in the register. And when he was leaving, she was like, I saw your face. And I'm like, yeah, that is kind of stupid. Especially most stores, convenience stores, and every other store I know have cameras now. And some of them, they have dummy cameras up there. They're not really working. But still, other like the customers and robbers and stuff, they don't know that. So that was that. So he left and went back across the street and got the baby and just like walked away like it ain't nothing. I'm like, the clerk didn't call the police. She just let him leave or whatever. Like, he just walked him and the son, and just walked and left. And that was the end of that. And then we get Charlie, which is I'm assuming she's the middle child. Charlie and her husband Davis and their son Michael. So they was Chance was riding down like Sunset Boulevard or whatever, and she seen a billboard of her husband, and I thought he was like a movie star or something, but it turns out he was a basketball player. So I was like, okay. And then she was on her way to lunch with two friends. Now it seemed like these two friends were trying to get on a reality show, but you know how like certain like the bench rider, they dating bench rider players, and they want to pass them reality show. They're trying to get Charlie to be in the show with them because it'll give them that extra push. And she actually married to a superstar who actually have 4 rings. So they seemed like they was trying to get her into the show with them just so they can actually sell it. She was like, everybody needs money. Everybody's not sorry, I'm touching my face, the hair keep going in. She was like, and everybody's not rich like you. We actually need money and stuff. So they're actually trying to convince her to join this reality show. And she's sitting there like, she didn't really want to join it. So while they were sitting there talking, all their phones went off and they got a text. And then it was a list of the players that some girl was accusing of raping her. And Charlie's husband's name wasn't on there. She was like, oh, my husband's not on here. So she was just like, okay, whatever, my husband ain't on here. That's the attitude that she gave. But their two husband, boyfriends, or whatever they are, their man was on the list or whatever. So I just was thinking, ooh, this about to get scandalous. So that was the end of that. They ended up just leaving after that or whatever. Then we get Nova. She looked like she comes some kind of spiritual healer or something like that, because she get the scene with this old lady. She was giving her, talking to her and trying to read her, like, I don't know, what's the word for it? Not read her spirit, but read her energy or something like that. And then she actually get a lady some weed, was like, next time you in pain, just smoke this. And she gave her a joint. So I just know that, and the lady just lit it up right then and just started smoking. And I'm like, oh, so she's one of those type, like a free spirit. So apparently she's a weed grower. Now Nova gives some guy, he came over out, he pulled up and she gave him some weed. So apparently she grows her own weed instead of going and buying it from someone else. So she gave him the weed and she was like, make sure y'all come to the protest. And he acted like he didn't really want to come. So she told him that if he didn't come, she basically wasn't gonna get him no more weed no more, not for free, because he was trying to pay her and she ended up like, you don't have to pay me. So he just took it and he left or whatever, said he was going to be there. And next we get Mr. Ernest. He was at work or whatever, and he heard two of his co-workers talking about what happened with the team with Davis them. So he just bowed out and just said bye to them. I guess he really didn't want to hear it because he know them. I don't know if the co-workers actually know that Ernest knows Davis and that's his son-in-law. So I don't think they knew that. If they did, I probably think they wouldn't have been talking about it right then. But he goes home and he calls Charlie, keep begging Charlie to come see him. She keeps saying she's coming soon. And then he was asking her how they was going to handle the scandal. And she basically said that she think the girl is lying and the girl actually has to prove like what happened to her. Basically, she's taking the guy's side. Now, rape is nothing to play with. Like, if that girl said that, then it should be a thorough investigation, and she should hold off on that because she wasn't there. She don't know exactly what happened. So that was the end of that. She said she was going to come see her dad, and she was asking him if he needed some money and stuff, and he told her no. So they just basically said goodbye, and they love each other, and they left, and he hung up with her. So next day we see him in the fields with Ralph, little baby Blue, and his guy friend. I can't remember what the guy name was, but they was out there. They were just looking like they was pretending to put some crops out or something just to be out there in the fields. And Ralph, because baby Blue's birthday is coming up, and Ralph Angels get mad that he want to invite his friends to the birthday party. Like, what kid don't want to invite their friends to the birthday party? Like, you said you was going to throw him, let him invite his friends and classmates and stuff. And then when he said he wanted to invite his mom, he really got angry then. And Ralph keep telling Ernest that he's gonna give him some money when he find a job. He got some money coming in or something. I'm like, how do you got some money coming in? It just looked like he's just lying about finding a job, because it doesn't look like he's looking for a job to me. But I just don't get Ralph, and he just looks like he's lying about finding a job, because most people who saying they're looking for a job, they don't really be looking for a job. And then we find out that he just got out of jail, because Mr. Ernest was like, you just got out of jail 6 months ago, so where are you supposed to be getting this money? Because I think he said he won the money shooting craps or something like that. And he was like, you just got out of jail. That means, why are you doing illegal stuff, gambling, when you just got out of jail? And he probably on probation or parole or something, and that can send him back. So we get back at Charlie and Davis's house. Davis's. You see how I did that? Davis's house. And he come home basically mad because his teammates and stuff got into a scandal with this girl. So he's saying he's desperate for another ring. When he said, I'm like, so what, you had another ring? You never had no ring? But he admitted that he wanted a 5th ring. I guess he think he Jordan or somebody. Did Jordan got 6? I think Jordan had 6. Maybe it's Kobe who has like 4 or 5. But he was mad, said he wanted 5 rings or whatever, and he seemed like he willing to jump from team to team just to get that ring. And he suggested that they go back south, but since so much scandal is happening in LA, because they're in LA, there's so much scandal happening in LA, so he wanted to go back down south. Next we get Baby Blue's birthday party. I keep calling him Baby Blue, but get Blue's birthday party. Now they was outside setting up and stuff, and he really had no stuff there, and the kids were there. They were calling it boring and stuff. And then his teacher shows up with games and more food and stuff, so now everybody got all hyped because the teacher came. So, and then Ralph Angel, he went in the kitchen trying to do some stuff, and he didn't know what he was doing, so the teacher offered to help, and he obviously told her that he wasn't good at that kind of thing, because most men don't know how to do, and it needs a woman touch for it. So they helped each other. It looked like they got some kind of connection. They're probably gonna end up dating once this series keep going on, and I'll tell you why later. So Mr. Ernest was playing with this little girl or whatever. He was playing cards with her. You know how like you try to pick the card? He was playing cards with her, and she leave, and then she comes back, and he wouldn't wake up. So I'm like, did this man just die? I was like, I hope this man didn't die at Baby Blue birthday party like that, because that would have ruined his birthday forever, because that's the only memory that he would have had from that party of his papa dying. So it turns out, and they call 911 and stuff, and the ambulance was taking him away. Baby Blue, he started crying, saying he wanted to go and stuff, and they didn't let him go. It was so sad. It was so sad. I felt so bad for him. I know I just don't like to see kids cry and like angry and stuff and sad. But it was so sad. So next we get the press conference in LA. Basically all the women are standing up there supporting their men. You know how like when Kobe had that rape case in Denver, and how Vanessa was standing up there, mad as hell, but still standing up there. You know how like the politicians do when the wives know they don't want to be up there, but they stand up there anyway. That's how it was. And then Davis was basically in support of his teammates or whatever. So he said he was going to stand by his teammates. So after the press conference or whatever, they had a game. So he met his son and stuff in the hallway with them. His son was like, get 40 points. And he said he was going to do it. So while they're sitting at the game, everybody's phone started going on. And I'm like, what's going on? Not Charlie and her son, but everybody else in the crowd. So it turns out this video comes out, and he's actually is involved. He's the actual one that's carrying the drunk girl into the bedroom. So I guess Miss Charlie's life isn't all perfect as it seems. Now she took somebody's phone and started watching a video. So after she watched the video, she walked out to the court where he was at. I mean, like, just walked out during the game like nothing was happening. And he was like, "What are you doing here?" And she was like, "You liar! What did you do? What did you do?" Then she started yelling, "What did you do?" And it looked like she swung on him because security had to tote her out of there. Like, basically she cracked under all that pressure, like any woman would have. So next we get Mr. Ernest in the hospital. Now Ralph leaves out of the room and they go call Darla. And she plays like she can't hear him, so he hangs up the phone. And then it turns out the dad wasn't dead, that he just had a stroke. Because it just seemed like he just died sitting up there in the chair. He had a stroke. And Blue was with his teacher the whole time because Ralph Angels told her to watch him, or asked her if she can watch him until everything else settles down. So that's what she did. And she watched him. She apparently kept him all night because she when he got back to the school the next day, she said she just brought him to school, so with her. So that was that. Now I think him and the teacher just might end up dating because they flirt a lot. So it just, you can just see it through the screen. That's how much it is. So the Aunt Vi calls Charlie's son Michael to tell your mother to get here tomorrow or something like that the next day. So basically when she insinuated that, it made it seem like he didn't have that much longer to live, and she wanted Charlie to see him before he passed, and he will probably want the same thing. So that's why I think she told her to get there soon. So Michael goes in the room to try to talk to his mom. She was basically in there crying because, like I said, she just found out her husband is involved in this rape scandal. So she was in there crying or whatever. She just basically just told him to go away, and he left. Like, I probably would have left too, but I probably would have told her, because we didn't see him actually tell her that Aunt Vi said tell her to get here. We didn't actually see that. So we get back to the hospital. The auntie, she looked like Auntie Vi. She looked like Diana Ross or like Afri Woodard or somebody. She looks like them, but yeah, she looks like an auntie. You know what I mean? And the daddy said, "Where's Blue at?" He wanted to see Blue. And Ralph was like, he didn't want to bring him up there to see him like that. See him in the hospital bed and all that stuff. Ralph just seems just like he want to do what he want to do, not what's in the best interest of the child. Even though he probably think what he's doing is in the best interest of the child, but by him shielding him, technically it's not. Like, this is real life. Like, and Blue is smart enough to understand what's going on. So Nova's practically begging him to let him see Blue or whatever. So Nova goes out in the hallway and she see the news conference with Charlie, because like none of them didn't know like what was going on. Their dad knew because them was talking in the job, but none of the rest of them, they didn't know like what was going on with Charlie. So she see the news conference, and she's just seeing what was going on with Charlie. Now when Ralph Angel called Darla, apparently she seemed like she's a drug addict, and she just got a job or whatever. And he didn't want to let her. He didn't want to let her see Blue because she would like let her see Blue. And he was like, no, he didn't want her to see that. So I guess maybe the mother, since she's a drug addict, she keeps going in and out of his life, and he kind of want to protect him from all that. So he basically told her no, and she was like, I got a new job or whatever. And I'm like, how can a drug addict got a job before you got a job? But she was like, she got a new job or whatever, and she wanted to see him. So he still said no. He's just acting like he still said no. So, and then also while they was in the hallway, the friend who was in the field with him came to see him or whatever in the hospital because he heard about it and invited him. He was like, well, can you do us a favor and take care of the fields while he was in there? And he was like, nothing has grown on the fields in like 2 years. And they was shocked because they didn't know any of that, because apparently he'll go say he's going out to the fields. Well, he actually went to another job, like it looked like it was out of school or something, but it looks like he went to another job. Like, maybe that job stressed him out, and that probably what actually led to the stroke I'm assuming, because like a lot of stress and stuff could lead to strokes and aneurysm and heart attacks and all that stuff. So maybe by him getting a regular job and not being in the actual fields, that was caused him to like have a stroke. And so basically they were shocked about that, so they was trying to figure out like what's going on with the fields and all that stuff. So that's basically, that was it with them. And then we get Nova and the white guy she was with at the beginning of the episode. He comes over to her house and he wanted to know why she didn't tell him about his dad, and they went through this whole banter back and forth, and she basically told him that she didn't want to and she wanted to keep it to herself. So that was that. So he basically didn't have no choice but to just leave her alone. And then we get Raph back at the hospital. Apparently he changed his mind because he actually brought Blue up there, and he was like, Papa, it's Blue. I just was like, oh my gosh. I was like, this is about to be a really, really sad scene. And Blue lays down and give him a hug or whatever, and Mr. Ernest started crying. Raph Angel started crying. I'm getting teary-eyed right now. And they put a hand on each other, and then like Blue was just like laying down over his chest. And then I'm assuming he died right then, because at the end Charlie and Micah came through the hospital doors, and she saw the rest of the sisters and brothers looking really sad and stuff in the hallway, and she started running towards them crying and stuff and hugging them and stuff. So they didn't actually show Mr. Ernest dying, but from that scene we just assumed that he did. So, and she was crying and stuff because basically she got there too late. Now if she would have went there when her son told her to come, then she probably would have saw him and said her goodbyes and last respects and stuff while he was still alive. So now she's probably going to regret that for the rest of her life, and probably resent her husband for it, because that's her father. Like, she known him all her life. Like, she can divorce her husband and just move on with it, but that was her father, the man who gave her life, her and his mother. But so Charlie just was after that hospital scene and whatever. At the end, she just was walking through the fields, and she was like, I apologize, I'm sorry, Daddy, I'm gonna fix it. And that was the end of the first episode. Now mind you, this was a 2-hour block, so bear with me. Part 2 will be coming up soon. So thank you guys for watching. Subscribe, and I'm gonna put all my social media links down at the bottom, and you can follow me: Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. I don't have Snapchat yet, but it's coming soon. Thank you guys for watching. Bye.